This is USVI News, your Virgin Islands connection.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for USVI News. I'm Emily Matson. Our coverage continues today with the Virgin Islands Police Department as they pay tribute to officers in honor of Police Week. The VIPD is commemorating National Police Week with many events, which started on St. Thomas Sunday with a church service and memorial parade. The VIPD provided these pictures of the service and parade to USVI News. A parade in downtown Charlotte-Amalie, which kicked off Police Week throughout the territory. In 1962, President Kennedy proclaimed May 15th as National Peace Officers Memorial Day, and this calendar week as National Police Week. It's a week to pay special recognition and tribute to those law enforcement officers who lost their lives in the line of duty for the safety and protection of others. Our USVI News' Ali Bourne-Vinek was at the parade and has more.
I'm here with Assistant Commissioner Brooks and the Virgin Islands Police Department. Thank you so much for all that you all do, the entire team. Can you share about this event today?
This is part of the commemorative. We do it every year for law enforcement. It's an annual Police Week. It's, of course, in remembrance of our fallen law enforcement officers nationwide. It's a nationwide week of celebration of the lives of our officers that have, given the ultimate sacrifice to this career that we've chosen.
What are some ways that the community can support the VI Police Department? Anything, just actionable steps? What are ways that the community can support the Virgin Islands Police Department?
We always maintain, if you see something, say something. That's the biggest piece right now. Policing is not just the Virgin Islands Police Department, any police department's duty. It actually is a duty of the community. The better the community and the police relationships is, the more dialogue we have, the more trust that's there, the better the law enforcement efforts are in the community, and we can, in fact, drive down crime that way.
And there are various events happening all this week to commemorate National Police Week, including tours of various police facilities and a candlelight vigil and also a pig roast in St. Croix, and also a youth outreach and bowling night on St. Thomas. For a full list of everything happening, you can go to our website at usvicbs.com. Virgin Islands police are asking for the public's help in tracking down a man wanted for allegedly sexually assaulting two young girls. He's identified as 42-year-old Omari Beltu. He's described as a black man, 5 foot 9 inches tall, weighing 135 pounds. The St. Thomas man is originally from Antigua and is wanted in connection with an unlawful sexual contact of two minor females, according to VIPD. Police are asking if you have any information on his whereabouts or see him around to give 911 a call or the Virgin Islands Police Department. The commissioner of the VI Department of Health says even though COVID-19 cases are high throughout the territory right now, we are transitioning from a pandemic phase to an endemic phase of the coronavirus pandemic. According to the latest numbers from the VI Department of Health, there are 901 cases territory-wide, with 362 on St. Croix, 518 on St. Thomas, and 21 on St. John. During Monday's weekly COVID-19 briefing, the health commissioner spoke about the importance of self-monitoring as COVID-19 moves from a pandemic to an endemic phase. As she explains, right now it's about self-monitoring and self-accountability.
In an endemic phase, a virus like COVID-19 will always be circulating among us in some form, much like the flu or common cold. Thus, some portions of the population will always be positive for infections, whether they know it or not. Right now, while our numbers are high and transmission is likely, the department is asking everyone to become vigilant about self-monitoring and respond appropriately with mask wear and social distancing when in unsafe, crowded surroundings. Please become part of the community-wide solution by doing everything to keep yourself safe and healthy. Getting vaccinated and boosted, wearing a mask, socially distancing, and frequent hand washing is what self-monitoring is all about. It's evaluating your situation and reducing your risk. The decisions you make about your environment are equally important as those you make about becoming vaccinated. And yes, vaccines are still available, as I said, and testing once you feel sick.
The commissioner also said the Department of Health has aligned its guidance with that of the CDC when it comes to isolating and quarantining for those who test positive for COVID-19. People who test positive regardless of vaccination status must isolate for at least 5 full days and remain quarantined until there are no symptoms. Those who have tested positive can come out of isolation once they have been fever-free for 24 hours without use of a fever-reducing medicine like Tylenol. They also say you should take precautions for 10 days afterwards and wear a mask for the entire 10 days, especially if they are around people who are immunocompromised. And it's not necessary to retest for COVID-19 after coming out of that isolation period. And as the U.S. sees a wave of new COVID-19 cases, one top health official cautions we're not completely finished with COVID-19, but experts are split on whether or not we're expected to see a summer surge. Here's the very latest on the COVID-19 outlook and what officials say needs to be done now.
In all U.S. states and here in the Virgin Islands, new COVID-19 cases are trending up. The looming question right now, will we soon see a surge?
I'm worried about the summer and the summer surge that could start within the next 3 to 4 weeks across the South.
But a former FDA commissioner and current Pfizer board member isn't convinced a surge is right around the corner.
I do believe that cases will continue to come down. Wastewater data collected by cities does show overall cases coming down, and that we shouldn't have a big wave of infection this summer.
Dr. Scott Gottlieb said the Omicron offshoot does pose a potential risk for a fall surge.
It's going to be important to learn whether or not the newly formulated vaccines that are now in development will cover this B2 variant well.
The latest CDC data shows about 66% of the U.S. is fully vaccinated with at least their initial series of shots. About 31% have gotten a booster. Booster uptake is highest in the Northeast, but lowest in the South, where less than a quarter of the population has received a booster dose.
We've got to make sure that we don't make a decision, which would be a wrong decision, that we're completely finished with COVID-19. We are not.
And Americans can now order a third round of free COVID-19 tests from the government. Just go to covidtests.gov. Now to the latest on the ongoing baby formula shortage affecting new parents here at home and across the nation. Let's take a look at these numbers. The out-of-stock rate of formula right now is at 43%. That's 12% in just the past month alone. That's up 12%. And now a baby formula manufacturing plant, which has been shuttered for months now, may soon be opening back up and be up and running, which could certainly help parents who are scrambling to find food for their infants and newborns right now. Our USVI News' Haley Potter reports.
The White House says the FDA may soon reach a deal with Abbott to reopen its baby formula manufacturing plant in Michigan.
The FDA is working closely with Abbott to bring the facility back online safely. That's the key here, safely.
The Abbott plant shut down in February for safety concerns.
The agency had a 34-page whistleblower report in hand making pretty serious allegations that there was data falsification and information withheld from inspectors.
Abbott makes about 40% of all baby formula sold in the U.S., so the plant closure has led to some severe shortages, as we know. The FDA says those problems should be corrected quickly.
This to gradually get better over the next several weeks and within really several months to be completely up to normal.
The White House says it's working with the other formula makers to increase their supplies too.
Clear to all of them that federal resources, including transportation and logistics resources, are available and on call.
The FDA is also working to ease regulations that would increase supplies by importing formula from overseas. Haley Potter, USVI News.
And Congress has legislation planned for a vote this week, which would allow for the importation of formula from overseas. And another bill scheduled for a vote this week would cut some of the red tape, which hampers low-income families in the WIC program to buy formula.